Flying Saucers and the Venus Legacy. It'll be out on the 1st of September, but it could be pre-ordered on Amazon. It's fully illustrated. There's hundreds, there's about 100 photos in here. It's about 190 90 pages. And it's with the help of the Venusians, I explore the astounding science behind the flying saucer enigma.
Oh.
And so we have apperception in the UFO phenomena. This is how various people experience flying saucers and Venusians based on their framework, their consciousness, their background, and so forth. Then exploring the connection between the Venusians and the bees. In the 1960s, when I began to write and publish articles about flying saucers, I was a member of the Aerial Phenomena Research Organization. And this was an organization established at Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin in 1952 by Coral and Jim Lorenzen. So Coral Lorenzen, as you see here, was one of the very first ufologists. And my book explores the beginnings of APRO as an organization and what they found out about the extraterrestrial presence here on Earth, and also her and her husband, Jim Lorenzen's relationship with George Adamski, and also the Brazilian photographer and journalist, João Martin and Ed Keffel, that took the pictures of Lady Orda over at Mount Palomar in California in August of 1954. So in my books as well, I have photos of Dolores Barrios, Lady Orda, even from before that and after that. Another one with me in 1972 with her. And so this is a debate in the scientific community and in the science fiction community about life on other planets and Venusians. The Flatwoods Monster in West Virginia. The saucer crash at Aztec, New Mexico in 1948. The government conspiracy to hide the truth about Venus and Venusians. And all of this is stuff that was uncovered by Coral Lorenzen and APRO. One of the early scientific consultants to APRO was Dr. Leo Sprinkle, and he wrote the introduction to my first book, Venus Rising, A Concise History of the Second Planet. So all this material is original, never before seen stuff. This is the true story of Desert Center, California. Even before George Adamski ever had his encounter there on the 20th of November, 1952, Desert Center, California was a hot spot for UFO activity. And this is interviews with journalists and people that live in Desert Center or Blythe, California, other areas in Riverside County, in the eastern part of Riverside County, that had encounters with flying saucers of their own. And all the way to, this is all the way to the present time. And a group from Japan, the International Get Acquainted program that was set up by George Adamski, still has an active chapter in Japan, and they frequently take pilgrimage there. This is a Venusian that you see in the bottom left on this page that One of them had a vision of, an apparition of, and told them to go out to desert California. And this is them at the site where Adamski, the Japanese group, at the site where Adamski met the landed saucer and so forth. And this is all about other contactees and information that I have from them. The Mitchell sisters from St. Louis, Missouri, their encounter with a Martian and a Venusian in a cafe back in the 1959. Ray Barker, Gladys Fusaro, she was also an early pioneer UFO investigator with the New York UFO Information Bureau. And then here you see, these are the original photos. This is from my Venus files, original Venus files. This is Commander Aura Raines appearing as Evelyn Smith at Flying Saucer Convention in the 50s out at Giant Rock. This is the full frame of the pictures of her. She was also a friend of Gladys Fusaro. That's their card from the New York Saucer Information Bureau. And I mean, when you read this book, this is about Barry Goldwater. He was a United States Senator that was a Air Force captain as well, and a member on the board of directors of NICAP, National Investigations Committee on Aerial Phenomena. And he tried to get to the secret of UFO encounters in the Air Force. This is the Roswell, New Mexico, or beyond Roswell, New Mexico flying saucer flap of 1964. The encounter by Lonnie Zamora. Then this is another UFO contactee named Paul Villas. And he met star travelers out there and had telepathic and physical contact with them. And I don't live too far from Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. In December, I think December 5th of 1965, this object, like a beehive-shaped object, crashed there. And this is all the information about it. I was up there as a guest speaker and got a lot of information, stayed around and collected a lot of information. This is me in the National Enquirer back in the 1960s. And that was a magazine that I published called the Flying Saucer Report. To the left is my friend Earl J. Neff and mentor. He was one of the Elliot Ness's Untouchables. And he helped us finance and publish our first Flying Saucer magazine that you see on the right.
I just read this article. It's one of the other books too.
Oh yes, it's in one of those other books.
Yes.
And government procedures. I like this cartoon. It's as we go into space, the extraterrestrials are worried about us bringing our bad habits and polluting habits up there. And so there's all these plastic bottles on the moon. After they, a lot of things. This is interesting because George Adamski, that Omnec also knows a lot about, he had said that there are lakes and water on the moon. Mm-hmm. But he said he was crazy. But NASA recent discoveries in the past 5 years have revealed the existence of frozen lakes on the moon, including one the size of Puerto Rico at the south pole of the moon. So now, as astronauts prepare to launch into the depths of space, they may be able to refuel and get water and so forth on the moon. And this is what, this is something that even Werner von Braun predicted long ago that would happen, that we would find these kind of resources on the moon. And sure enough, it is. So these contactees that everybody was putting down back then, now a lot of the things that they've said is, well, it's true, you know, and it's coming to light. This is another contactee from West Virginia, where I'm located, Woodrow Derenberger. He met these beings from Lanulos, a planet 8 light years away, but he also confirmed that he had met Venusians, and that there was that Lanulos was a member of the Galactic Federation of Light. And this is all Woody's story. That's a drawing there on the left by his son, which yeah, that drawing is interesting because it actually reflects the description of time travel provided by the physicist John Wheeler. And original documents, transcripts, origins of the public UFO controversy back in the USSR, where they didn't know how happy they were. And then this was a contactee from, this was a contactee in Kansas, Hutchinson, Kansas. And he talked about different ET technology and them having these kind of hover cars that skimmed over the surface, just like in Star Wars. Now he wrote this back in the early 1960s, and I think a lot of the stuff that we saw in the Star Wars episodes was borrowed from John Dean's account. On board a mothership, and connections with you know, science fiction, how science fiction is actually science fact. This this is disco ufology in the 1970s, the beginning of the 1970s. Dr. Carl Sagan attending a conference in Russia, or in Armenia, actually. And this was Hans Petersen, a major in the Danish Air Force. He was the director of the International Get Acquainted program, the organization founded by George Adamski to promote international cooperation and research into extraterrestrials, particularly Venusians, and UFOs, UFO technology, and so forth. And this is all from the original files of Adamski's and Petersen's group, and connecting it with the science of today. And so the book, you know, the book goes on and explores all of these things in great detail.
Wow.
As long as I was on that, it's just, here's a synchronicity right here.
Oops.
This all original information. You know, if you don't think it comes from that, well, as we're sitting here going over it, this is from the UFO Contact magazine, published by that. And we had an exchange with the Flying Saucer Report in the 1960s with UFO groups from all over the world. In fact, I recall one in Germany called UFO Nachrichten.
Yes, Nachrichten, exactly. That still exists, yes.
And we exchanged publications with all these different groups, Saucer, Space, and Science by Jean Duplantier up in Canada, UFO Research Queensland, in Australia, and different groups in Latin America. And I wish I did speak German better, but I am a Spanish speaker.
Oh, great.
Anyway, so that helps with international, correspondence and
Yes,
everything.
yes, yes.
But yeah, but all this stuff is real.
Wow.
And, it's all pre-internet, so this information would be lost if people like myself didn't save it. And I have a storage, air-conditioned storage facility deep in the woods in West Virginia, remote location in West Virginia. And that's what I write my Venus books off of.
Oh, wow. It's just amazing, Ray. I'm really overwhelmed. It's so much. And yet it's connected with the truth of love and wisdom. It's not only the science facts, as you say, it's not only the phenomena, not only the UFOs, where is one, where are they from, and all these kind of things, There are also some ufologist groups, I think, where these outer phenomena play the most important role, and yet the connection to the spirituality is very important. And I'm more, I guess, the representative for the teachings and for the Venusian spirituality. I'm not so informed about all these contacts and contactees and history and all this knowledge that you have compiled and collected. For me, most of it, I mean, of course I know Adamski, of course I know some things, but most of what I know is actually really from Omnec. And this is so, for me alone, it's so complex because the truth and the love and the wisdom and the beauty of the message is for me a thing that I can be busy with my whole life. I mean, really integrating it, really living it, really understanding it, and sharing it. It's a life project.
Well, it's such a wonderful opportunity, Anja, to meet a kindred soul, and and I certainly hope that that we could do some more programs in the future on any subject that you or your viewers would like to know more about. And perhaps we might even do one with Omnec. Oh, by the way, I do have a photo of myself with Omnec.
Oh, yes, I wanted to see that. You have to send it to me per email, please, because I want to
yeah.
add it into the video and on my page.
I'm going to put it up right here because I do have it. I do have it here.
Is it from 2018? Tell me a little bit about your meeting with Omnec. When and where did you meet her? In 2018 in Mount Shasta?
Yes, that was 2018.
Did you meet her just once there?
No, throughout the week that we were there.
Okay, but only at this occasion. I mean, only that.
Oh yes,
only there.
on the
Afterwards,
material
not,
plane.
yeah.
Right. Well, I do have a photo that I'm trying to obtain, but I'm not sure. Only Omnec could say for sure what it represents. But I will send that to you when I get a hold of it.
All right. Okay.
Well, let me see if I could find this one. And it might take a little bit, but okay, I'm going to put this one off, and okay, I'm gonna go. Let's see, and I want to go to.
Hello, Raymond.
Okay.
I am home.
Oh, right.
Somebody's calling.
Yeah, somebody's calling there. That's my friend, Dr. Kiva Fall Makete. He's from West Africa. He's a Dogon.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I put some information from him in my second book there, The Final Countdown, Rockets to Venus.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay, there we go. Now I have to. Uh, is that up there yet? Okay.
No.
We go here and go here, go here, go there. Okay.
Oh. Oh, yes. Cosmic Ray Keller, the Venus historian, and Omnec Onec, the ambassador from Venus, shared recollections of our sister planet at the From Venus with Love conference at the foot of Mount Shasta in Northern California in July 2018. Oh, great. Yes. Yeah, see, I saw her the last time 2 years earlier in 2016 when she was in Germany the last time. And most probably I don't know if you could put her in your suitcase and take her with you when you're coming to Germany next year.
Well, it would be great if we could both be there in the same time.
Yeah, that's really cute photos. I'm sure it was a nice encounter, a nice meeting her, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we shared a telepathic connection in that meeting.
Thank you for sharing that, Ray.
Oh,
Thank you.
you're quite welcome.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had the
I
chance.
sure hope that I can meet you in the next coming year or so.
Well, when are you coming? We have to discuss that after this recording. We have to talk about it.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Well, I would say that for now we close this conversation. We have covered a lot, and I would like to say thank you for this meeting with you, Ray. And yes, I'm saying goodbye to our friends who have been watching, and we are here for questions or whatever. Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you so much.